Hi everyone. I don't think I actually got a chance to do a video yesterday. I wasn't feeling really great yesterday, and that's because something sort of happened on Sunday night, really late Sunday night, between 11:30 and 12 o'clock. I don't want to get into it. Um, yeah, I don't want to get into it. I've already debriefed with my friend Kelly about it. Um, I mean, we nutted out a lot of things. I guess in a nutshell, because I always end up talking about shit that I don't want to talk about. In a nutshell, I met up with someone that I guess I've been hanging out with, um, and I thought that I'd put some pretty clear boundaries or expectations in place, and they weren't quite respected. And yeah, and just kind of like picking it all apart, I guess, particularly because I have a background in sexual trauma. Um, and so I guess the situation kind of triggered feelings of that, even though that wasn't the intention. And so it was sort of Kelly and I trying to nut out that. And what it really comes down to is like current dating slash hookup culture, which I really just don't get. And perhaps there's an element of heteronormativity and things like that. I think it's a very, very complex issue, and it's not just black and white. And I know that this other person wasn't intending harm. And because as soon as they realized that that was where it was going, things stopped immediately. And I'm thankful for this person for respecting my boundary, and I guess for having enough awareness, um, despite being intoxicated or whatever, to realize that the other person wasn't matching his energy, which in the past that hasn't happened. Um, so yeah, I mean, no one's in the wrong, and everything's fine. I just had a few emotions to grapple, and yeah, they were making me feel quite unsettled, and yeah, and all of a sudden my neck felt very, very naked. So I went and picked out this black onyx to help with feelings of loneliness and to try and help me feel a little bit more grounded, especially after the session that I had with Margie on the light bed, where my lower chakras are very grounded and they are functioning quite well. And I do feel that. I feel that, I mean, despite there being maybe financial issues, I'm not having any back pain. My will to live and continue, I guess, is keeping that disc spinning in a good direction. Um, and, it's obviously making me want to be a little bit sexual with other people too. Just that my heart's not quite along on board with that. Um, Sacral chakra feels good actually. Whenever I'm sort of checking in with myself or doing any internal work, I'm actually drawing energy out of my sacral chakra to put into my heart. So I guess what I'm taking from that is that I do know that I've at least helped the self-esteem side of it. I've, with a lot of color therapy and orange and connecting, I think a lot of work with Aisha as well, reconnecting with my feminine power, um, which is something that I haven't done. I kind of flick back and forth between like maiden and king or shadow queen often, which I don't want to do. I want to be more level-headed and reserved and queenly and powerful in my ability to be more composed. So that's a goal, and I know that I'm not going to get there if I keep falling back into old habits. And I guess I want to talk about that too. I did still not been able to sort of have a successful clean day. I did go and see Erica after the last video, and I knocked on the door and thought I was going to be seeing her like housemates and be able to sort of explain the situation. But as it happened, she answered the door. And I think we were both quite not quite sure how to deal with the situation, and I explained that I'd sort of been sending texts, so she's not been receiving my texts, which is fine. That's her boundary, and I do respect that. So I was just and I explained to her that, you know, there's no agenda. I got the rocky road, you know, everything that I said in the video before. And she, you know, graciously accepted it. And I guess maybe I thought that meant, again, no agenda, but I think something in me took that as like, oh, okay, maybe, well, you know, things are going to be okay. Like, we're in a rocky bit. We're both doing our own healing. And things will be different. And then, yeah, but I don't know, that kind of upset me. And Jones has been messaging still, which is shit. And I was ignoring those messages. Then, so, I don't know. Ended up using a bit on Sunday. Particularly as well, like, yeah, that's right. So I used Sunday afternoon after seeing Erica. That kind of shook me a bit. But then I had some friends come over and had a really nice, like, kind of hangout for a bit. And then I kicked them out of my house at 11 because I had an early start yesterday and I'm struggling to get up early just with the drugs between the sleeping medication and me still using. I'm very, very drowsy in the morning, which makes it really hard to feel like awesome and motivated, and I'm aware of that. So after I get off this video, I'm going to go jump in the shower and do some stretching and go to the treatment room and lie down and have a meditation. So yeah, that'll be good. In the morning, I went and saw Dr. Praveen and said to him that he's my psychiatrist, for anyone that doesn't know, and explained to him that, like, I am out of the MAC program now, against my will, but I do still want to deal with my cannabis issues, and that my big problem seems to be is that I can manage quite well during the day, even if that means that I'm taking my night meds, like my antidepressants and a sedative, at around 6 or 7 o'clock at night, just to try and make sure that they kick in a bit earlier, so that by the time, you know, 10 o'clock or 11 rolls around, I actually go to bed, instead of sort of being in this weird limbo where I'm like, I could take a cup of Valium and this, that, and whatever, and meditate and put a sleep story on and try to go to sleep, or I can go with what I know works. So yeah, Dr. Praveen's given me a new script for something else to help with the sleep. It's only going to be a short-term thing, just to stop that temptation to go and use anywhere between, you know, 10 and 12 o'clock at night, because then when I do use, I'm using for a couple of hours, and so then I'm staying up late, and I'm just creating this really, really shitty cycle for myself. So it's good that I have, like, today's my Saturday, tomorrow's my Sunday, like, I have a weekend to myself to try and just sort of get on top of this shit. And I am seeing Mtvd, my psychologist, tonight, this afternoon. So we'll be able to sort of talk a bit more about things that are triggering me, around, I guess race is coming up a lot now that I'm starting to sort of casually date and people are asking questions. And some of it's really triggering because, to me, like, I understand that, you know, I am different and that makes me interesting, and that people want to know more about that. But at the same time, for me, when I'm first getting to know someone, I feel like it's more important to focus on the things that we have in common and not on the things that make me look different from everyone else. I think especially because, you know, as well, people can fetishize races, and I've dated people in the past that only liked me because of my race, and that's not cool. So just trying to sort of weed out my garden a little bit. The universe is helping a lot with that. But yeah, no, things are definitely getting better. I'm feeling stronger. I'm loving my mentoring sessions with Aisha. So every Monday morning at 10, we check in for an hour. And yesterday, I smashed out about half of the money mindset workbook, where I was able to like really look at the debts that I've got going on, how much money I spend in a month, because like, yeah, when you don't pay attention to money, you've got no idea where it goes. I guess before anyone answers on it, I haven't purchased cannabis in several weeks now. I've been going over there and using there and not buying any. So I mean, in the past, as in recent past years, obviously I could quite easily say that anywhere between $40 and $80 was probably spent on cannabis in a week, but that's definitely not been the case, say for the last at least 4 to 6 weeks, or even longer. I don't know, my sense of time's just really gone. Like, this year is just flown really quickly. Anyway, I'm rambling a little bit. So yeah, smashed out a lot of things for money mindset. I finally pulled my finger out and got my insurance claim off to CommBank. I've sent 2 emails to Bella Beat about getting my leaf fixed so that I can track my sleep a little bit better. So I'm really just wanting to focus on my health and getting that back to where it should be. So that's my check-in. Really hoping that today will be a successful day one and that I'm not going to slip up at night. I am acknowledging that perhaps just for this next week I might need a little bit more medical help in the sense of like pharmaceuticals. So that's okay for me to take that sleeping pill. Let's experiment with it at like maybe 9:30 or 10 o'clock tonight. And hopefully that'll go to sleep. It does have, I don't know, I've never seen this drug before, Impressed, I think it's called. Looking at some of the names on it, I am concerned that they are very, very strong drugs. And I don't know how it's going to make me feel in the morning. So hopefully no worse than how I'm feeling, I guess, usually between the concoction of, sedative antidepressants and cannabis. So, I mean, anything's got to be better than that. If it doesn't work, then we can adjust and keep experimenting. The next 3 days, I guess, is my plan is to more or less keep to myself, maybe do some posts on social media and things like that, but try not to rely on social media so much. That is definitely something that I need to work on, for myself. So yeah, look, anyway, I'm going to jump off. I will probably come back on and do another video just to talk about how my day went, maybe even to debrief a little bit about the Mtvd stuff, if it won't be too re-triggering. Hello, kitty. So, right here, like looking up at me. So, I'm gonna go. Thank you for checking in, and watching. It helps, and yeah, it's nice to know that even if no one's watching this, at least it's out there for me to see again someday. All right. Have a good day, everyone, and I'll let you know how things go either later today or tomorrow. Bye.